I don't know what I would define success as. It's certainly not material. I know success is not material. I believe success to be leaving an imprint.
People look at what we have,
Yeah.
but what we want them to see is our joy.
Yeah, I want them to see my heart. I want people to know that I loved and cared for them during the time that I was working with them, regardless of what that was.
If I think about my death often.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's really important. I think that recognizing and understanding the gifts that the Lord gave you and living fearlessly in those gifts, being open-handed about what you've been given by God, is a life well lived.
I can't do a 5%. So most of the time the 5% brokers, what you're gonna see them do is they're gonna reduce the buyer broker count, and then that's gonna come back and bite you. I think it would be good for us to sit down together too, and just do it all in person. You know, I know you guys are very detailed and thorough with the way that you make decisions, so I think sitting down, no, that's good. That's a really good thing.
I think you handled that really well. Well, hopefully that comes together.
Yeah.
That would be your fourth listing so far today.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We met at a pajama party.
Pajama party.
We really did, in college.
Legitimately. She had blue shorts and a white shirt.
They were not that short. They weren't.
Okay.
We dated for like a year,
Yeah.
right?
About a year.
We dated for a year and then we broke up.
Yeah, we broke up. I was a real douche canoe, quite honestly. I was,
Why would you use that word?
well, I was awful. Let's be honest. It was rocky, but then we figured it out. It
Well,
was,
yeah.
we figured it out slowly over a lot of time and the Lord's grace on our life, quite honestly.
I found out I was gonna be having Ava, who is now our oldest daughter, after we had broken up.
Yeah.
So I called him and he moved to Minnesota and we worked on fixing our relationship basically. And about a month or two into all of that, we started to pursue our faith again and really just try to reroute our lives back onto a better path.
I already pressed start. This is so ridiculous.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
You know what? Leave me alone. I'm just trying, or help me.
Okay.
One or the other would be helpful.
Jay had a mentor come into his life
Yeah.
who basically said, you guys need to get married.
So I sat on that the entire drive home, which was all of 15 minutes. And I walked in the door and in true style fashion, I was like, look, we got to get married. For some reason, it was just like, the Lord just put it on my heart. Like, we got to do this. And this is the path we're going on. So, you know, a young, impressionable person with the favor of God and the words of God on your heart, you walk in and when God tells you to go, you go.
We walked down the aisle and I was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
We threw our wedding together in a month,
Yeah.
and we got married. And it was the hardest time in our marriage, but probably some of the richest times in our life.
Yeah.
We went to buy our first house and we ended up buying a house in Watertown, which was like, we were living downtown Minneapolis,
Yeah.
found a house in Watertown. I still to this day, I'm like, why did we move out to Watertown? Jay was commuting to the cities and I said, why don't you find a job at a gym closer to town?
Yeah.
So he walked into the Snap Fitness in Victoria and was meeting with the owners and they were like, honestly, we need to get rid of this place. Like, and they sold it to us for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
We cut the check a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
We had been saving and it was like this just perfect opportunity came and Jay turned that gym around. He had
Like
that
quick. I was
within
knocking
6
on
months.
doors like crazy. Well, here's the thing. Here's the reality situation. She was pregnant with Isaiah at the
Our
time,
second
our
child.
second child. And I'm coming from a job where I'm making pretty good money and she's about to go on maternity leave and she hates her job. So I'm sitting here thinking like, there's a lot of pressure here to turn this thing around, you know? Like,
Saturday we weren't gonna sell it again, were we? Saturday
I
night,
don't know.
you came out to the garage, we're not selling it.
Yeah,
hilarious.
and then my dad even said, don't do it, Nicole.
I feel like realistically, we could counter them and net you a little bit more on your sale.
I kind of think we can too. If you think we can,
I
then
do.
go for it.
I do, and I'd say we at least try to get them for another 5 to 8,000, maybe 10, and see if they could meet us in the middle.
Yeah.
I went to have Isaiah and I said, I don't want to go back to work, Jay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it. So I went to stay at home and I was really bored and I got my real estate license.
Yeah.
I was staying home with my kids and I think I sold like 12 houses within 6 months and I was like, wow, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
And I'm not even,
She was part-time.
I'm super part-time. And I said, Jay, this is great. And so I kept doing it, and then I kind of got out of it for a little bit because I wanted to spend more time with my kids. And then I said, all right, I'm going back in. I'm doing this.
She's going full-time.
I'm going full-time.
And she crushed it. She sold 26 houses in that 12-month span. She crushed it.
So I was only working 3 days a week, and I pulled up my year-end statement. I was like, Jay, look how much money I made this year.
She was so pumped. I was like,
and he was like,
I was
mad,
so mad because like,
he was pulling like 12-hour days.
long 6 to 6 every day, like Monday through Friday.
That was so funny.
And then sometimes I go in on Saturdays. And she made the same amount of money as me in that period of time. And then she got pregnant again around this time. And she was like, oh, I have all these clients and all these people want to move. I don't know what to do,
And I wanted to have maternity leave. So I said, Jay, you should get your license.
Get your license and help me while I'm on leave. And I'm like, okay, I'm working 6 to 6 already. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about that year-end statement. I'm like, if she could crush it that hard, like me working those 12-hour days, I can do that.
And then you were really good at it.
Yeah,
And the
I
check,
liked it.
and the pay, the checks were a lot bigger. So
Yeah.
we said, okay, let's just both go at it. And that was, how old is Gracie? 4 years ago. And then we made our first hire that following January when we hired Ryan, which was one of the biggest gifts that we've been given. And from there, I think our first year we did 16?
No, yeah, it was 16.
16,
Yeah.
32.
And then
80.
last year we did 73,563,000 to be exact.
Okay, bye.
Nick, how you doing, man? I just sat down with the sellers and we kind of went through the offer in the detail, the good, the bad, and they just feel like there's a little bit of money left on the table potentially. But I did get them to counter you. So there's 2 things we want to counter: the closing date. We want to bump that up a couple weeks to try to land like the 2nd week of August, and then 10,000, increase the offer price $10,000. Why don't you give them a call if they're good with it? I actually have the sellers in my office right now. I can get it all signed.
And I know I just missed a call from him about an hour ago, so I'm gonna call him right now.
Our brand represents the highest quality or the highest bar in real estate. And our goal as a team collectively, our vision and our mission is to basically make real estate not just a transaction, but a major life event, so that people would just be eager to recommend us to their family and their friends. That really is what the Hancock Group is trying to do, is just honor our community through real estate. I mean, we've had so many of our clients say, wow, there's just something different about your group. And I truly think it is, number one, because everyone on our team cares so much about the people that we serve and each other and what they're doing. And our group really feels like a family. We don't just work together, we get together on the weekends. We care about each other, we share life events and successes and failures together. And I think that that's something really unique.
Nick. I actually just talked to them about it, and they feel good about it with the 10,000 increase and them doing the carpet. All right, sounds good. All right, congrats, man. See ya. All right, there you go.
Sweetness.
All right, so let me go get an addendum here, and we'll finish this thing up.
Still waiting for the magic word?
Please.
Okay.
Pretty please. Boom. That's how you do a deal. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a method to this madness between us. She's kind of the brains, and she really is good at like outlining the process and the vision for where we're going. And I focus more so on like this, like the day-to-day, like sales and making sure that we're on track for our numbers.
Jay's super tactical. Like, I've never met anybody who wakes up hungry every single day. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just been such a huge gift, because then I can focus on
The vision. She can focus
running
on
our team,
Yeah.
managing the vision, growth, marketing, our staff. And
The cool thing about us is that like we can just be open, and like she can come to me with just the most outlandish ideas, and I don't fight her.
he doesn't try to
Yeah.
like, I don't question him on his sales.
Yeah.
And he doesn't question me on my execution of the vision for like our
Right.
family and our team.
There we are on that one. All right.
Oh boy.
Congrats.
Wow.
Here we go.
Now you can be done with the, let's not sell. No, let's sell, let's
Yeah.
not sell.
Yeah, we're moving.
Too late now.
We're moving. Okay. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Time to go
All right.
get some boxes.
Go get your boxes ready.
Dumpster comes on Wednesday.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, actually. That's how they used to do it back in the day. I never lived in that age where we didn't have technology, so. Now I'm gonna email this to Nick Schmidt.
I
Yeah,
mean, we have 4 children, ages 2, 4, 7, and 8,
yeah,
and 2 boys and 2 girls, and they are the priority in our lives.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, they are the priority. So
so,
aside from God and our marriage, it's the kids before work. So we've had to figure out how to make that, not just say it, but also
Yeah.
live that out.
yeah,
We realize that if we work our lives away, that our children are going to watch that, and ultimately, if we're not doing it for money, and we know that it's our responsibility as parents to raise our children up, that we have to put the systems in place to be able to accomplish our vocational goals, but also be the parents that our children need and that they can look up to.
yeah. And also that they can count on. You know, I found there was a period of time where like all my kids knew me as is the person that was on the phone. So, you know, there was a shift that had to occur, you know, for that not to be the case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a work in progress. I mean,
It's an evolution.
There are a lot of days that, you know, you could do better, and then there's a lot of days where you do really good. You know, I believe success to be leaving an imprint that
Points people to Jesus.
that God was involved in this, in what you do. Doesn't matter. Everything else is so feeble in relation to what the Lord's done and with the gifts that He's given us. We couldn't do anything of what we do today without God's hand. That's
John Piper made a speech and wrote a book called "Don't Waste Your Life,"
Yep.
and in it he begs people, you know, living your life with one core focus, which is Jesus. You get one life, don't waste it.